If he had lived another year or so longer, he would have become president of the United States. His name was Garrett Hobart, and he was related to one of the oldest families in the town of Columbia, New Hampshire. His dad had been born there and lived in Columbia, as had his grandfather and his great-grandfather. But his dad had moved from Columbia down to Long Branch, New Jersey, on the advice of his best friend from Columbia, a guy named Socrates Tuttle. Mr. Tuttle practiced law. In Long Branch, his dad taught school, just as his father had done back home in Columbia. Garrett Hobart was born there 3 years later. Now, Garrett turned out to be a very bright child, a prodigy even. He was accepted at Rutgers College when he was only 14 years old, and he graduated third in his class. After college, he, like his dad and his grandfather, taught school for a while. And then he read law in Socrates Tuttle's offices and passed the bar examination in 1866, the age of 22. Went on to become a master of chancery. And he married the boss's daughter, Jenny. He became wealthy. He then ran for state office, and again he was successful. He became the Speaker of the House and the Speaker of the State Senate, and in 1896 he was elected Vice President of the United States under President McKinley. He was a popular vice president. His wife Jenny often performed the state duties of the First Lady, as William McKinley's wife, Ida, suffered from epilepsy and she was unable to appear at times. She and Ida, by the way, were very close friends. Garrett Hobart suffered a heart attack in November of 1899. Had he lived, he would have been renominated and reelected with McKinley in 1900. President McKinley, of course, was assassinated in 1901. And as you know, Teddy Roosevelt, not Garrett Hobart, became president. But think of how the course of history would have been had Garrett Hobart lived.